Alright, I thought I'd make a video about this because this really chapped my ass today. I called up MFJ. As you guys know, I was working on this project to get this Arduino to tune the tuner. Now, the radio was hooked up to the tuner. Well, the tuner was hooked up to the radio, and you have to hit the tune button to initiate a tune to tune the antenna. I wanted a way that I could take a signal external from the tuner into the back of their proprietary connector, the RJ45 connector, to initiate a tune, which I know it can do this because they have another cable set that works with another radio that does this. So I called up Yaesu twice, not once, twice, and I got two technicians that said basically they didn't know how to do this, and that they would have to, I would have to call. So I asked them, who's the lead engineer, who's the engineer that I can talk to? So they gave me a name and an email. I wrote the email, I got no response. So I just didn't want to just start grounding pins or sending signals to pins that I have no idea, because I didn't have a schematic at this point. I'm just not going to do that. I don't like to just do this. This tuner is expensive. It's $900, okay? So I went through the support channel on MFJ's website, and everyone's like, oh, mighty fine junk, mighty fine junk, mighty fine junk. Yes and no. Some of their stuff is crap, some of their stuff is good. You really gotta, it's a hit or miss. Some of their product lines are, I don't know, they have some pretty kind of, they have a lot of gadgets that are just kind of bleh. But they have some stuff that's really good, like this 998 tuner, really good tuner. I love this tuner. And their MFJ analyzer, that's a pretty good device too. But some of this stuff is mediocre stuff. I had, well, that's a story for another time. But anyways, so I went through the support channel on their website, and I actually wrote them an email. The email was, I have a question. How can I initiate a tune from the back of the RJ45 connector? Right now I have a radio that is wired to tune the radio from the tuner itself using the FT2000 wire method. Now that's in their manual. That is using pins 4 and 5 for ground connections from the tuner, and 6 for the center pin of the TX request line for the FT2000. That works fine. Now what I want to add is the ability to initiate a tune from an external set of contacts that will initiate a tune from a tuner at the RJ45 connector, and will also put the radio in transmit. I assume I already have half the wiring all set. I just need to know which pin on the RJ45 connector to ground to get the tuner to initiate a tune that's other than pressing the button on the tuner itself. I didn't want to just start grounding pins to find out without a description of the internal wiring. Thanks. So they wrote me back, forwarding this to project engineer for discussion. Alright, so that was like a day or so. So in that day, I actually found the schematic for the tuner. I don't know if it was a leaked copy or not. I don't know, but I found it. Somebody was posting it on their forum or something or whatever. But I found it, and you guys saw it yesterday. It was just a simple, trace the line to the transistor and find out that was the one that needed to be hooked up and grounded and done. Okay, simple. But now MFJ comes back, so I said, I said okay to this. And another day later, they sent me, which is today, they sent me this message. That is a problem with so many items using the same connector, or that same connector, the RJ45 connector. Our engineer team and Yaesu are trying to come up with a solution. Nothing viable as of right now. I don't know. Where does that leave me? I mean, if I didn't figure this out yesterday, I would be bullshit right now, because I spent $900 on this tuner. Now, this is a company that builds their own equipment. They engineered their own equipment. This isn't like something that's made in China. This is expensive ham radio equipment. I mean, I would expect this from like a low budget website that is like trying to get support on something that they don't even they just sell. They don't have technical knowledge on this stuff. These people designed it, these people engineered it, these people sell it. So yeah, I don't know what to do with that. I was just like, whatever. I just thought I would make people aware. It's not with ham radio equipment. It's the products that the support sells the products. It really does, because ham radio equipment is very sophisticated, and it's a very tailored market to people, to engineers and electronics people, electrical, or even non-technical people. But if they can't tell me how to simply ground a pin on the tuner that they designed to tune their tuner, and that's pretty sad. I don't know, I just feel like I got brushed off and I will never get an answer. So, but I'm not knocking MFJ. Like I said, I'm just venting, because I really like MFJ products. I really do. Like I said, some of this stuff I could do without, but yeah, it's sad, because it's like I said, this stuff is not cheap. This is not like walking to Radio Shack or Best Buy and buying like a DVD player and then like calling up Sony and say, hey, how do I get this thing to do something a little bit different? They're gonna say, screw you. These guys, they're ham radio community is all about modding and all about changing and all about making things better, and just that's what we do. So it's just pretty sad that they just dropped the ball and just said, I don't know, we have our top people on it, our top men, like in Indiana Jones when they he's in the meeting room at the end of the movie, and they put the Ark of the Covenant in the warehouse, and they goes, we have our top men working on it, and then, meanwhile there's a guy just rolling the crate into a storage facility. Yeah, that's kind of what it felt like, so anyways, I just thought I would get that out there. So I just don't let this discourage you from buying MFJ products, but it's just, I like MFJ, like I said, but I just thought that was kind of comical in some respect. But anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good night. We'll see you in the next one.